I love everything that you said. I agree with it.
Mm.
But I was thinking about the year of courage because, and even in kind of why this podcast exists, the year of courage, it takes courage at our age to love someone, to put yourself out there, to move from a different city, to quit your job that you've had for 12 years, a good job. You know what I mean? So all of these things to just basically like start our lives all over again. And so, and we're constantly doing courageous things. Like, welcome to Love Lately, the podcast where we dive into the real conversations about love, relationship, and yep, all the joys and challenges that come along with finding love and keeping it after 50.
Okay, so look, whether you're looking for love, starting over, or navigating the ins and outs of long-term commitment, we're just here to share our journey and the insights we've discovered with you.
I'm Lee, and this is my husband, Ron, and we definitely don't have all the answers. Like, trust me, we do not have all the answers. But we have many questions, and we want to unpack them with you. We will talk about what love looks like in this stage of life and how we can make it work.
So grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and join us for honest, heartfelt, faith-filled conversations that remind us all it is never too late for love.
Welcome to Love Lately. All right. Welcome to Love Lately.
Welcome back.
Yes, I'm Lee Rogers. And we are so excited because this is our 1 year anniversary. We started in November of 2025 and now it's November 2026.
Yes.
And we have finished our first season of Love Lately.
Yes. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
Learning and growing.
Yes.
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 So,
Yes.
we're excited to continue, and we're excited about the last year, and it's been an experience, and I've enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yes. So this episode, we're doing something a little different. First of all, we're in my husband's man cave. So the whole
Bear down.
the whole decor is different. We have his fraternity stuff in the background and his couch, and there's a lot going on.
My comfort zone.
Yes. So we're in his man cave. I'm actually going to interview my husband on some of his favorite moments, and I'll share a few of mine as well over this first season, and maybe just a few things that we've actually learned in the process of doing Love Lately, because this has been a learning thing for us as well. As sometimes, honestly, you guys probably don't even realize this, but a lot of topics, it's not like we talk it all out before we come on camera. It's us really discovering things as we're talking and learning. Yeah.
It's life. It's life that happens, the experiences that we have, the ways we kind of navigate through them, and then just our desire to share.
Yeah.
Share.
Yeah.
Yeah. Share our way and share our way of thinking and things that helped us. Like we've always said, we don't have all the answers. We're not experts, but we're continuing to learn and grow. And that's what this experience is about. That's what life is about. Mm-hmm. It's about the opportunities that present themselves and opportunities to grow and learn and get better.
Yeah. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. So I'm going to ask him a few questions, and that's going to be our episode. And like I said, we will be back bigger, better, with some new things going on, interviewing other people, bringing other people into the fold. But for now, we're just going to recap.
You're going to
Recap. Okay. So hubby.
Yes, wife.
So looking back over this year, so we have I think 15 episodes of Love Lately. What's one moment or conversation from the podcast that really stayed with you, and why?
Well, that would probably have to be maybe our first or second episode. Mm-hmm. And it's something that we always talk about, when from the beginning of our relationship, how we talked about watching each other and learning how to communicate with each other, especially when it comes to love. your style of love is completely different from my style. And I still practice that and learn that and continue to uh growing in that area today. Nothing has changed since the very first episode. Yes, our languages of love are completely different, but it's important that I understand what moves her,
Yeah.
what resonates with her. What resonates with me doesn't always resonate with her. And I can't expect her to know that and for her to automatically give me those things. So we've learned how to talk about it. We learn how to continually talk about it, and we've grown from it. And that's probably the episode that stands out to me the most because I continue to live it.
Mm-hmm.
I continue to live it ever since the first episode. Still growing in that area, still working on that area, and it's been fun. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's been just to continue to keep that in mind and understand that our way of communicating in our languages and understanding what resonates. Me studying her, knowing her, watching her, listening to her, and the same with her.
Yeah.
So that's probably what resonated with me the most. It was maybe our first or second episode.
Do you remember what the topic was?
I think we just talked about starting new relationships at over 50.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I think we get kind of set in our ways, and our experiences are our experiences, and our experiences are what shaped us when it comes to relationships. And sometimes we always talk about if you want something different, you have to do something different.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to be intentional about those relationships, not just not throwing those relationships away, but putting forth the effort to know your person,
Right.
to study your person, and to be okay with doing some things differently, doing some things that you may not have done before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me, there have been a lot of moments, and I don't know if this is going to come up in one of my other questions, but I think one of the biggest, I do think I asked you about some of the biggest surprises from this past year, but every episode you say something that is, I feel like it's so profound and deep and everything. And I think one of the episodes where we talked about what love actually is, and you talked about I think it's the infinite delight,
An overwhelming desire,
overwhelming
an
desire.
infinite desire.
Yes,
An infinite desire for the well-being of another.
Yes.
Yeah, it don't stop.
And I just thought that was amazing. But he always says like really profound things. And then another episode when we talked about the yummy factor.
Yes.
So
yeah,
those are some of my favorites. Yeah.
yummy is good.
Yeah.
Keep it yummy.
Keep it yummy. We're gonna do something with that
Yeah,
eventually.
keep it yummy. Keep it tasting good and feeling good and just yummy. Well, not literally, but figuratively.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So my second question for you is, how has doing this podcast together impacted our marriage? Good, challenging, funny, or surprising?
Interesting. I mean, and I knew from the very beginning, but that this is your wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm.
It's where you're comfortable. It's what you do. The cameras, the marketing and everything, and it's completely not mine.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a stretch for me. But what I've enjoyed about it is participating in it, moving past my fears about it, because fear is always about the unknown. Yeah. Fear is not about what you see and what's happening at this moment. That's kind of being scared. Fear is always about the unknown. It brings all that anxiety.
Good stuff.
It brings all that anxiety, and you're worrying about some things that haven't happened yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the fear. And so for me to move past that fear of being in front of the camera, speaking and talking, even though I'm comfortable with it, but I'm just a guy that's, I'm a simple person, you know what I mean? And so doing this has stretched me. It's there are moments where I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and there's some moments where I had to stretch myself. Yeah. Stretch myself beyond some of those physical limitations. I have a busy schedule. I work a lot of hours, and my wife can do this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week,
Yes.
every day. Sometimes I want to come home and I just want to kick my feet up, watch a game, and just prepare for the next day.
Right.
But moving past that, because you know we're in this together, and what I love about it is that it you enjoy it,
Mm-hmm.
and I like to see you like to participate in those things that bring you joy.
Yeah.
That makes me happy
Yeah.
to make to see this that smile. Because
You.
I know that she enjoys this and something that it was her vision, and it's becoming my vision also. And so, just because it wasn't initially making the effort
Mm-hmm.
to participate and wholeheartedly, 100% dive in, not half-heartedly,
Yeah.
and to do it. And so, it was a stretch and a growing moment for me with life, and I think it's brought us closer. It's forced us sometimes to have conversations and to be open about some things that um, we may have not in other circumstances.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have seen the stretch and the times when you're tired and you'll do it anyway. And I mean, you guys don't even know. There have been times when I'm like at 9 o'clock, like, okay, we got to record. And you're like, what? I mean, so it has been a stretch for both of us. Um, but I think one of the things that I've learned in watching you do it, first of all, one of the reasons, because I could do a podcast by myself and I have a
Every
podcast
day.
by myself. But one of the reasons I also wanted to pull him into it was I truly see a calling on his life. I think he's an amazing speaker, and he always has really deep and profound things to say. And so I wanted to pull us into what I believe is a calling.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was part of it. And I love seeing you step into that part of your calling.
Yes, I
Yes.
do. Yes.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
number 3, what did you learn about yourself? You kind of talked a little bit about it this year, and what did you learn about us as a couple?
What did I learn about myself? Um, again, like I said, you can, move and step beyond your fears and anxieties. And that if you kind of move past those things and you try it, you may find that you enjoy it,
Yeah.
that you like it. You know what I mean? And so, you know, because there's nothing wrong with my no button.
Yeah. Oh, that I meant to talk about that. Yes.
I have a very profound no button.
I have learned since being married to him over this year what boundaries actually look like, because my husband's boundaries are
Solid.
solid,
Yes.
tight. He has no problem
Same.
saying no to anyone, anytime. If he does not want to do it, if it's not on his agenda, if it's not, he has no problem. And he looks at me like, I don't understand why you didn't say no. Like, so,
I mean, not every situation or thing is worth our energy and our time. And sometimes we have to, there's sometimes being selfish is not, there's nothing wrong with it, meaning I can think about myself, you know what I mean? Those things, if I don't want to do it and I don't feel that it's something that's good for me or it's not a good, I have no problem saying no. And so, yes, my boundaries are solid and, but saying yes to this, you know, and experiencing this and being okay with it, that was a huge thing for me and a moment that most probably said yes because it was you.
yeah.
You're my wife, and I want to say yes. But then going through the podcast, it was something that I enjoyed, and just giving it a try and moving forward in it, that you may find out that there are some things that you enjoy and like,
Yeah.
you know, that you probably wouldn't have done or thought about before.
Yes. 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 If you could describe our relationship this year in a single theme or chapter title or whatever, what would it be and why this year?
This year,
We've only been married a year, so
it's been more than it's been a year in
a
April,
year
year and
and
a
a few,
half,
year and
a year and a few months. Yeah,
so.
count it all.
How would you describe our theme this year?
I mean, I think what I love about our marriage is that we are willing
Mm-hmm.
to constantly evolve and to grow, and that there's nothing that we probably can't talk about and see it from both sides and be willing to
Yeah.
evolve and grow and change. What I love about our marriage is all the touches that aren't physical.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
I want you to expound on that.
Well, you know how you can be touched without someone putting their hands on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I love all the touches that I experience throughout our marriage that has nothing to do with us
Touching.
physically touching
Mm-hmm.
each other. You know, when you touch my heart or touch my mind or touch my spirit, you know, when I look at you and those things that I feel and experience and the things that we do together that I feel and experience. And I think I had this discussion with you just last night that, you know, we're not perfect,
Mm-hmm.
but our imperfections are perfect. Our
Mm-hmm.
perfect
Yeah.
imperfections, you know, we still fit. And I told her just last night, I said, there's nothing I can't see my life without you.
Mm.
Regardless of all the things that we do, that I do that drives you crazy, I do that drives you crazy. This life that we have together, and this life that I have with you, I can't not imagine that not
Yeah.
existing.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a touch for me every day when you're excited about coming home and doing nothing, but my person is there.
Yes.
You know, I see her, you know, I can smell her and she's around, and this life that we've built, and it's the best that I've had.
Yes.
And I told you that last night, literally,
Yeah.
that it's the best that I've had, and I thoroughly enjoy every moment of it, whether we're doing this or doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so that's what I've continued to feel and experience on a daily basis
Yes.
over the course of our marriage.
Yes. I feel it too. It's
Mhm.
been amazing. Someone asked me recently, I hadn't talked to her in a while, and she said, "So how's everything?" And I'm like, "Everything's great, you know." And she said, "If you had to just rate your life on a scale of 1 to 10, what would it be?" And I'm like, 9.5. And she was like, "That's pretty high." And I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah, and it's just life, and it doesn't, and
yeah."
it's like we don't lead these, you know, exciting. You know, we don't jet set. We don't rub elbows with the elite. We have a regular. I mean, it's exciting to me, you know, but our life together is it's perfect. You know, regardless of both of our flaws. You know,
Hmm.
we still fit.
And we still argue. Like,
Yes.
we're not saying that we don't
Yeah.
argue. We
Yes.
have hard moments,
Yes.
but it's
Yes.
still,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's still good. And I wouldn't even through all of those things, this life is still amazing. And that's part of it also.
Hmm.
That's part of the life also, you know, those disagreements, those bumps that we experience. And that's what love is. It's the infinite desire for well-being of another. And no matter what, that doesn't change.
Mm.
That's that infinite desire. It continues no matter what. And so um, no matter what we go through, you know, I'm still part of the equation, you know, so sometimes I have to look at where, you know, I fell short, you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
it's always about growth. It's always about moving forward. And it's all been good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things I was going to say about our year, if I had to even do a theme to it, I love everything that you said. I agree with it.
Mm.
But I was thinking about the year of courage because, and even in kind of why this podcast exists, the year of courage, it takes courage at our age to love someone,
Mm.
to put yourself out there, to move from a different city, to quit your job that you've had for 12 years, a good job. You know what I mean? So all of these things to just basically like start our lives all over again. And we're constantly doing courageous things. Like I mean, it sounds silly, like getting a dog is a courageous thing, but again, 55, we're like basically adopted a baby.
Mhm.
And busy lives and all the things, and just we're always kind of like, trying something new. And I
Mhm.
feel like we're kind of like, if we have each other, it's just like, okay, let's just jump. Let's try it. Let's do it. And so I love that about us.
And then I was saying last, I think maybe a few days ago, but all those sacrifices and all those changes that we've made in our lives, I acknowledge those things that you've done. You acknowledge those things that we've done, and so that's the level of commitment that we've made to each
Yeah.
other, the level of commitment that we've made to our lives, and those things, are appreciated. And so, when we have those bumps, we continue to look back and all those other obstacles that we've seen to overcome and make it to this point, and there's still wonderful, exciting things that are happening in our lives right now. And
Yes.
so that tells me that all of those changes, you know, those things were meant to be exactly the way that they were
Yeah.
when they were. So
Yeah.
I was assured, I was confident about my move. You were confident about your move. I was confident about every step that we made together. And it continues to open and evolve
Mhm.
and get better and doors
Yeah.
and all those things that are happening in our lives and in our marriage. And so,
Yep.
yeah.
I love it. All right. Last question. What are your hopes for us, both in love and in the podcast for the year ahead?
Well, I'll start with the podcast. I mean, the podcast, like I said, I enjoy it. It's a stretch, especially during this time of year, bear down football season. You know,
Yeah.
my,
See?
yeah, my time is, I love, my moments of, sports and all those things. But um, looking forward to working on being a little more committed, a little more, just not willing because I'm always willing, but just managing my time better so that we can continue to grow this thing because I do feel that it's a positive
Mhm.
um, thing that we're doing and that we do have a lot to say, and then being comfortable putting myself in a position to say the things that um, maybe I need to say,
Yeah. Yeah.
or maybe that needs to be heard.
Yeah.
And so just growing in that area and definitely want to move forward with it and
Mhm.
um, just continue. Everything that we've done together has been, good.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I just expect us to continue to move forward and grow this thing also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And our love next year, the upcoming year,
Well, my
continue.
infinite desire,
Yes.
it doesn't stop,
Yeah.
and so I'm a firm believer in taking everything a day at a time.
Mm.
I don't worry about tomorrow. I know that if I'm solid today, if I'm solid today and I do the things that are expected today, I love you today and you know that I love you today and I move throughout my day with the right attitude and continue to love you the way that I do. Tomorrow's going to take care of itself.
Yeah.
It's going to continue to be me. What I feel is what I feel. And I continue to always express that, try to express that as much as possible.
Yeah.
And my desire for us to continue to grow and to get closer, that doesn't change.
Mhm.
I do that today and then I get up and do the same thing again tomorrow and expect the same results.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you for allowing me to interview you.
it's been fun.
Yes. And I want to, again, kind of publicly, whoever watches this, um, just thank you
Hmm.
for the sacrifice, even though I know you enjoy it once you get into it.
Yeah.
Um, for I'm doing this because of your infinite desire and love for me and everything.
Yes.
Because you didn't have to. And
Yes.
this is somebody who works 6 days a week and long days and all of the things. Um, so thank you so much for going on this ride for
And then
me.
thank you for stretching me also.
Mhm.
I remember when we started, my sister had a comment. She was like, "You're doing a podcast?" She was like, "She's good for you." Because they know me and they know that that's it was completely out of my wheelhouse and completely out of the scope of anything that I would think of doing. And, not that I'm not capable or not that I wouldn't be,
Mhm.
but just that was just who I was. And I thank you for stretching me and giving me the desire and pushing me toward this. And it's fun, and I'm looking forward to everything else that comes along with it.
I love that. I love you. And even I mentioned one of the reasons why I wanted to do the podcast, because I see a calling on him and the way he speaks and everything. And I remember when we were dating and we were just talking about what we love about each other, one of the things that I said was, I love to hear your perspective on life. And because I think he just always has an interesting way of looking at life, or sometimes faith, and just wanting to share more of that with other people. And I've learned so much about just how he thinks about a lot of different things during our podcast episodes. So I really appreciate that about you. Even by the time this airs, we will have announced that we are in the process of purchasing our forever home. And I remember I was like, like we prayed about it. And then the next night, or maybe 2 nights later, other stuff was happening. And I'm like, okay, we got to pray about it again. And he's like, for what? And I'm like, what do you mean? And so, him expressing his belief, thought, perspective, like, God heard us. We're not begging him. He heard us. If we have faith, we move forward, we praise him. Well, we could praise him if you want.
Yes.
But begging God and asking him the same thing over and over again, that's not expressing faith. And it's like, I know that, but to hear my husband remind me of that, share that with me again, was just another reason of, first of all, why I love him so much. And then secondly, being able to bring that kind of stuff out in different conversations so other people can be blessed by those perspectives.
Yeah, he hears us, and he knows the desires of our heart. He knows exactly what we want. So my prayer was always a prayer of thanksgiving. I prayed with expectations. I prayed knowing that it was going to happen. And so my prayer was a prayer of thank you. Thank you for what you're going to do. Thank you for giving it to us. Thank you for making a way, opening and closing doors. And so that was just my thoughts about it. I know God hears our spoken prayers and our unspoken prayers. And so it was just, the expectation was already there, and we just needed to thank him ahead of time.
Yes. Well, thank you again, and thank you, our listeners, for just being with us over the past year, subscribing, liking, commenting.
Yes, we appreciate it so much. Thank you.
It was truly a blessing. And again, we're excited about the next year coming up. We're going to take a breath, a beat towards the end of the year, get ourselves together, and come back next year.
Yes.
But we want to hear from you in the meantime. If there are topics, subjects, if you have something you want to say on this podcast and be a guest, then let us know. But we want to hear from you.
Yes, we welcome your thoughts. We welcome your questions. We welcome your comments. Help us.
Yes.
Our desire is to just, speak our lives and our experiences and our hopes and help someone. And but we don't have all the answers. And if you can interject anything that would help us and in your comments, and we welcome those things too.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much. And remember that love can happen at any time, any chapter in your life. And keep pressing on.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Love Lately. We hope today's conversation sparked some thoughts and maybe even some inspiration for your own love story.
Remember, love does not have an expiration date. It should always be evolving and growing, and so are we together.
If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with someone who might need a little encouragement in their love journey.
And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to discuss, just drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you.
Until next time, keep finding, building, and enjoying love lately.